Picture a pirate ship cutting through moonlit waves, black flags snapping in tropical breeze, crew laughing.
That's Hollywood's version. Real pirates faced winters that would have killed Jack Sparrow in days. December 1717, North Atlantic stretches like gray wasteland. Ice crystals form on rigging faster than scraping. Every breath becomes white steam that freezes on beards. Deck planks crack like breaking bones. Frozen ropes turn into cables that slice hands open. This wooden island surrounded by deadly water. When temperature drops, romantic pirate ships become floating death traps, where fire means danger, warmth means survival.
Get a grip, man. The storm's not letting up. We need to hold steady.
Below deck, men huddle like animals. Tonight, staying warm isn't about bravery. It's about survival systems. Wind shifts, cutting through every layer like paper. Cold bites harder than any shark ever could. Most people think cold freezes you solid. Wrong. Cold kills by stealing body heat through sneaky accomplices. Working night watch, hauling frozen lines. Body sweats from heavy work. Seems good, but it's deadly. Sweat soaks wool shirt, becomes wet rag in freezing gale. Moisture turns clothes into ice-cold blankets. Spray from bow crashes over deck, soaking foremast workers. Salt water, colder than fresh, clings viciously. Boots squelch with every step. Sleeves drip icy water. Hat becomes soggy mess like snow-packed head. Wind sneaks through every gap. Hatches, rigging, loose boards. Invisible killer that steals warm air instantly. Wind doesn't just feel colder. It literally replaces body-created warmth with Arctic air moving 20 knots. Smart pirates learned, fight wet and wind first, or won't live long enough for anything else. They developed obsession with staying dry, blocking drafts. Small mistakes add up to fatal consequences. Pirates didn't survive through fashion. They wore clothes like armor against cold, looking like walking oil spills. Forget romantic flowing shirts. Real winter gear smelled worse than whale processing plants, worked like magic. Start with wool layers like onion. Miracle fabric stayed warm even when soaked, unlike useless cotton. Wool shirts, stockings, caps, coats. Scratchy, smelly, absolutely essential for staying alive in freezing conditions. Over wool went oilskins. Canvas soaked in linseed oil, shedding water like duck's back, incredibly uncomfortable. Over wool went oilskins. Canvas soaked in linseed oil, shedding water like duck's back, incredibly uncomfortable.
Monmouth caps, or watch caps, tight wool hats pulled over ears, wouldn't blow off in gales.
Some tarred hat brims to shed water. Fingerless mittens kept palms warm, left trigger fingers free. Boots told real pirate story. Leather soaked with whale oil, waterproofed but flexible for rigging climbing. Smell incredible, rancid butter mixed with old fish. But dry, functional feet worth stolen gold weight. Everything required constant maintenance. Seams waxed repeatedly. Spare clothes kept in oiled pouches below deck. Gaiters tied tight around boot tops, preventing water from running inside. All layers bought 1 hour warmth. Winter watches lasted much longer than an hour. Outside protection alone couldn't fight the brutal cold. Pirate hack 1. Can't fight cold outside alone. Needs stoking internal fire through ship's galley transformation. Cook became most valuable winter crew member. Job wasn't feeding, it was keeping everyone alive with calories. Thick stews from dried peas, salted pork, ship's biscuits. Not fine dining, fuel for freezing bodies.
Real lifesaver, hot grog. Rum cut with hot water, sometimes molasses, served in warming tin cups. Cups passed man to man along watch line. Everyone wrapped frozen fingers around warm metal. Galley fire stayed contained no matter what. Sandbed braziers distributed heat evenly, prevented flame spreading. Iron lids, dampers controlled airflow.
Someone always stood fire watch with wet swab ready.
2 morning, sleet cutting like flying razors. Night watch barely keeping ship pointed into wind.
Cookie appears with steaming burgoo pot, thick porridge from scraped-together ingredients, liquid salvation for frozen men. Ladle clanks against tin cups. Steam rises in lantern light. Frozen men remember warmth briefly. Sudden squall hits, ship heels over hard. Everyone holds breath as galley fire threatens escape. Wooden lifeline could become floating bonfire. Fire control meant difference between warmth and total destruction. Pirate hack 2. When you can't control weather, change the ship. Create protected pockets against wind penetration.
Weather cloths, canvas barriers rigged along rails, blocking wind and spray from reaching working areas constantly.
Not permanent fixtures. Set up, taken down as conditions changed. Required constant adjustment, preventing tears. Companionway openings got canvas hoods shedding water, blocking wind while allowing movement up and down. Storm boards across gangways created wind shadows where men could work without fighting full gales.
Below deck, bread room became sacred space. Had to stay absolutely dry no matter what happened.
Wet ship's biscuit wasn't just unappetizing, it was dangerous. Moldy food poisoned crews faster than cannons. Every seam carefully caulked, every opening monitored. Wet gear in bread room faced serious consequences. For sleeping, pirates created nests using lee cloths, canvas barriers blocking drafts around hammock areas.
Goal: turn open gun deck into maze of smaller spaces where body heat accumulated.
Genius transformation using ship's materials. Created ship within ship, network of protected warming zones. Large freezing space became dozens of smaller, slightly warmer refuges. Remarkable survival architecture adaptation. But someone still stood helm watch, completely exposed to wind and weather, keeping course. Pirate hack 3. Ritual. Small, repeated actions keeping blood flowing, preventing frostbite claiming fingers and toes. Pirates surviving winter seas didn't do it through toughness. They did it through obsessive, careful attention. Watches rotated faster on coldest nights. 2-hour shifts instead of 4, sometimes hourly when brutal. Not about being soft, about keeping everyone functional. Frozen fingers can't feel wheel or spot dangers. Hands got special attention because hands kept you alive. Pirates rubbed palms with rough rope. Swapped soaked mittens every half hour. Hung wet pairs near heat. Put on dry backups.
Smart sailors carried multiple hand protection sets. Never got caught with nothing dry to wear.
Feet equally critical. Pirates greased feet with tallow before dry socks. Changed every few hours. Wet socks came off immediately, hung near galley fire. Stomped feet regularly, maintaining blood circulation.
Heave ho, me lads, and pull with might, for warmth we gain in this cold, dark night. When pirates sang while working braces, they weren't making work faster, they were keeping alive.
But rituals couldn't help men assigned to still, exposed jobs where cold found them. When normal methods insufficient, pirates used emergency heat, careful risk versus reward calculations for survival.
Heated stones and bricks from galley became portable heaters wrapped in sailcloth for warming.
Heat didn't last long, but warmed hammocks preventing hypothermia gave frozen hands knot-tying function.
Risk was fire. Too hot stone could char wrapping, start blaze, killing everyone aboard instantly.
Slush, fat and grease from cooking pots became emergency waterproofing rubbed into boots and coats.
Disgusting, smelly, incredibly effective. Rendered salt pork fat stayed flexible, didn't wash off easily.
Cargo rearranged, improving ship stability, keeping working areas dry. Heavy casks shifted low and central.
Reduced rolling motion meant less spray, fewer soaked men. Required moving tons in dangerous conditions. More stable ship meant everyone stayed drier and warmer. Brutal but necessary risk management. Heat rationed like fresh water on long voyage. Every flame accounted, every warm surface shared. Pirates calculated risk, warmth gained versus fire danger. Freezing might kill some, fire kills everyone. Math brutal but simple. Use enough emergency heat keeping essential personnel functional, never risking ship. As conditions worsened, survival stopped being individual toughness, became group discipline keeping everyone breathing alive.
Ship's articles got specific about cold weather procedures. No wet gear in storerooms with supplies.
No pipes or flames near tar, rope, sleeping areas. Ice on rigging required all hands.
Quartermaster had authority adjusting work assignments based on weather conditions and crew survival needs.
Order more hot meals. Tar additional seams. Tighten barrel hoops preventing hold flooding with water.
Breaking cold weather rules meant losing treasure shares. Serious financial penalty ensuring strict compliance always.
Breaking survival rules could mean losing fingers, toes, or worse. Individual carelessness killed entire crews.
Pirates enforced cold weather discipline with same seriousness as combat situations. Group survival paramount.
Carpenter worked constantly checking seams, caulking gaps. Cook maintained fires with religious devotion and care. Sailmaker repaired weather cloths as fast as they tore. Everyone had additional survival duties. Order kept warmth from leaking through careless gaps and forgotten procedures. Perfect discipline required. Then wind veered north, bringing weather so severe and even perfect discipline might not be enough. 2 morning, middle watch, North Sea, January. All preparation and discipline tested by breaking point conditions.
Ice forms on lines faster than clearing. Each rope becomes frozen cable, cutting like knives.
Sails need adjusting, or ship drives onto rocks. Helmsman's fingers completely numb inside mittens. Can see hands gripping wheel. Can't feel whether actually controlling ship's direction through storms. Storm hood over main companionway snaps loose. Primary route below deck completely exposed to spray. In minutes, entire lower deck will be soaked, destroying crew's one refuge from weather. All survival systems activate like military drill. Lifelines rigged immediately for icy deck work safety. Helmsman relieved early, rushed below for hot broth and hand warming. Fresh soup carried topside. Spare hood retrieved from storage, lashed with triple security. No room for failure or mistakes.
Crew sweats braces, coordinated heavy pulling generating body heat while accomplishing necessary sail adjustments perfectly.
Men work in rotation. Each group intensive physical labor, then move to sheltered positions.
They thaw helmsman's hands, save watch rotation, secure companionway, keep course through worst squall.
Takes everything learned about cold weather survival, perfectly executed under conditions where mistakes cascade. Dawn still hours away. Wind shows no sign of decreasing. Survival systems must continue working. Hollywood gets pirates wrong. They weren't superhuman. Didn't survive through swagger and rum courage alone. Survived by developing systems, careful, methodical approaches to problems killing unprepared people in hours quickly. Real pirates beat winter seas like everything else. Preparation, discipline, looking out for each other. Learned warmth wasn't something hoped for or fought through individual toughness. Warmth was built. Warmth maintained and protected through group effort and shared knowledge passed down through generations. Dry first, wet kills faster than cold. Block wind. Moving air steals heat faster than still. Feed internal heat with hot food, warm drinks. Rotate work, keeping blood moving constantly.
Guard fire sources like more valuable than treasure. Respect rules keeping everyone alive, even harsh.
Pirates didn't beat cold with luck or bravery. Beat it with craft and brotherhood.
Measured in shared cups of hot grog and carefully maintained dry spaces protecting everyone.
Beat it understanding individual survival depended on group survival on perfect execution. On coldest nights, when wind cut through layers, spray froze before hitting deck.
Courage didn't sound like battle cries or bold speeches. Courage sounded like ladle clanking.
Bringing warmth to frozen hands. Felt like wool working when soaked, carefully maintained fire. Like watch rotations, ensuring no one faced cold alone longer than they could survive. Heat keeping pirates alive wasn't fire or sun. It was human systems working together.
Against ocean that never stops trying to kill you through cold, wind, and water.
Survival meant understanding that warmth came from preparation, not luck or individual heroics alone.
Pirates learned cold weather survival through generations of hard-won knowledge and brutal experience.
Each technique developed by crews who lived and died, learning what worked in practice.
Systems that kept pirates alive were tested by men whose lives depended on perfection.
No room for error, when ocean temperature could stop heart in minutes of exposure.
Brotherhood forged in shared survival, where everyone's warmth depended on everyone else's discipline.
Knowledge passed down through stories of crews who survived impossible winters at sea.
Techniques refined by generations of sailors who understood cold as deadly enemy requiring respect.
Pirates who lived through winter seas did so by treating survival as science.
Not art or luck, but careful application of proven methods under deadly conditions.
Every successful technique bought with lives of crews who learned what didn't work. Survival systems developed through trial and error, where error meant death for everyone.
Real pirates understood. Ocean doesn't care about courage. Only preparation and execution matter. Cold kills through physics, not personal weakness. Heat preservation requires engineering, not bravery.
Systems that worked became traditions passed between crews, ship to ship, generation to generation.
Knowledge preserved because those who forgot these lessons didn't survive to pass anything.
Pirates kept warm through human ingenuity applied to hostile environment with deadly precision.
Every technique tested under conditions where failure meant frozen death in wooden coffins.
Survival methods that worked became sacred knowledge, protected and shared among those who lived.
Pirates beat impossible cold through preparation, discipline, and understanding that warmth meant life.
Real survival came from systems, not individual heroics, built on the foundation of shared knowledge.
Heat that kept pirates alive was heat of human cooperation against ocean's endless attempts.
To kill them through cold, wind, spray, and isolation on wooden ships far from land.
Pirates survived by building warmth together, one carefully planned system at a time.
Each technique adding layer of protection against cold that never stopped trying to win.
Brotherhood measured in shared cups of hot grog and watch rotations that saved lives.
Heat they carried wasn't fire. It was human systems working together against impossible odds.